Hi everyone, I am Professor Shalini from Mechanical Department. In last lecture of Tom 2 we have seen damped free vibrations. Okay, in this unit of vibrations we have seen basically introduction to vibrations, what are various causes of vibration and effects of these vibrations. Then we have categorized vibration into three types, that is undamped free vibrations, damped free vibration, and third one forced vibration. In first section we have seen undamped free vibrations and its differential equation of motion. Okay, in next part we have seen damped free vibrations. Okay, I have explained you what is damped free vibrations and we derived differential equation of motion for damped free vibrations. Okay, we will move towards next part, that is forced vibrations. Okay, we will study what is forced vibration and its basic introduction in this lecture. Okay, first, what are free vibrations? Vibrations that occur in absence of friction and external force after initial release of body. Okay, and what are force vibrations? When repeated force continuously acts on system. Okay, and the vibrations set are forced vibrations. Okay, what is we have seen in free undamped vibrations that a system once disturbed from its initial position executes vibration. Okay, this is because of its elastic property, there is no damping in this case. Okay, hence dissipation of energy does not take place and hence it executes vibration which does not die down. Okay, this gives us natural frequency of system. Okay, in next section, that is in free damped vibrations, what we have seen, once a system is disturbed from its initial position it will execute vibrations. Okay, which will ultimately die down. Okay, it is due to presence of damping, and here in this case in free damped vibration dissipation of energy takes place through damping. Okay, now and in this case we can find damped natural frequency of system. Okay, and we are moving towards third part of vibrations, that is force vibration. Okay, in force vibration there is external force acting on the system. Okay, as there is external force acting on system it executes vibration in our system. Okay, this force which is present on system may be harmonic, periodic, or it may be non-harmonic and periodic or non-periodic. Okay, in this unit we will study only external harmonic forces acting on system. Okay, for example, for force vibrations we can consider air compressors, again IC engines or turbines or different machine tools. Okay, vibrations can be created by following methods. Okay, by step input forcing or harmonic forcing or periodic forcing. Okay, this analysis of force vibrations also can be divided into different categories. Okay, such as force vibration with constant harmonic excitation or force vibration with rotating and reciprocating unbalance, force vibration due to excitation of support. Okay, we will see next, that are examples of force vibrations. Okay, few examples are given. Vibration of floor caused by running of heavy machinery. Okay, vibration of car when running in an uneven road, vibration in reciprocating engine due to reciprocating of pistons. These are few examples of force vibration. Okay, now we will see force damped vibrations. Okay, here figure is given. From figure we can see that spring force is Sx, damping force is C double differentiation of x. Here spring force and damping force oppose the motion of mass. Okay, here external excitation force of constant magnitude acts on mass which has frequency omega. Okay, Here frequency is omega. Okay, we can use here second Newton's second law of motion, okay, to obtain this equation, that is linear non-homogeneous second order differential equation. Here this equation is second order differential equation. Okay, this solution consists of complementary function part, okay, and it is particular integral. Okay, the solution, the equation is solved using complementary function and particular integral part. Here x is equal to xcp or xp. Okay, here it is given complementary function and particular integral. Okay, we can see this. Then we obtain it for we obtain complementary function and integral part and put in equation to obtain final equation. Okay, here we can find amplitude also. Okay, now we will see vibration isolation. Okay, here vibration produced in machine is transmitted to foundation upon which it is mounted. The vibration gets transmitted on foundation. Okay, this vibration produce undesirable effects and should be avoided. These vibrations which are transmitted to foundation, it creates undesirable effects, so it must be eliminated. These vibrations should be isolated using springs and damper. Here we make use of dampers and springs. Okay, the concept of transmittability comes into role to determine the amount of vibrations that are transmitted to foundation and isolate the same. Here we use the concept of transmittability, okay, so that these vibrations can be transferred and eliminated from foundation, okay, for smooth functioning of our machine. Okay, transmittability, it is nothing but the ratio of force transmitted to force applied. Okay, this ratio is transmittability. Here we can see that applied force is taken as Ft is equal to under root bracket x into x max whole bracket square. Here x is nothing but maximum amplitude plus c into omega into x max whole bracket square. Okay, that is nothing but x max under root x s square plus c square into omega square. Okay, this is nothing but force transmitted. Okay, then how we find force transmittability? It is nothing but ratio of force transmitted to force applied, that is Ft upon F. So we can write it as x max under root x square s square plus c square into omega square upon force applied, that is F, so that we can obtain transmittability. Okay, next, this is numerical for this concept. Here question is given, the mass of electric motor is 120 kg. Okay, so we take m1 as 120 kg and it runs at 1500 rpm. Okay, here capital N is given 1500 rpm. The armature mass is also given, so we will take it as m2, that is m2 is equal to 35 kg and its cg lies on 0.5 mm from axis of rotation. Here cg's distance is given from axis of rotation. We take it as r is equal to 0.5 mm. Okay, we will convert it all quantities into SI unit, so it must be converted from mm to meters, so 5 into 10 raised to minus 4. The motor is mounted on 5 springs of negligible damping, so that the force transmitted is 1/11th of impressive force. Here transmittability is given, that is 1/11th of force. Okay, assume that the mass of motor is equally distributed among 5 springs, so there is equal distribution of mass of motor about spring. Okay, here we will find what we have to find, stiffness of spring we have to find S. Okay, so what is formula for stiffness of spring? We know m1 into omega n square. Okay, we can find omega n here. Okay, first we will find omega. What is formula for omega? 2 pi n by 60. We will take 2 into pi into n is 1500 upon 60. So we obtain omega as 157.1, and we all know what is unit for angular velocity. It is radian per second. Okay, now we will find stiffness of each spring. Okay, here let us take that S is equal to combined effect of spring, and it is in Newton meter. Okay, and we take omega n as natural circular frequency of vibrations of machine in radians. Okay, we all know what is transmittability ratio. It is force up, that is Ft upon T. Here ratio is given 1:11. Okay, we will take it 1 divided by omega upon omega n whole bracket square minus n. Okay, we will simplify it and we will put value of omega. Okay, then we obtain here value for omega n. What is value for omega n? 45.35 radian per second. Okay, we all know that omega n is equal to under root s upon m1. From this we will find s. What is value for s? That is combined effect of spring is 246,840 Newton per meter. We can convert it into kilonewton. How can we convert 246.84 kilonewton per meter? Okay, this is combined effect for all 5 springs. When we want to find stiffness for each spring, we will obtain it by dividing combined stiffness of spring by numbers of springs. So we will divide S by 5, that is 246,840 divided by 5. So stiffness of each spring we obtain 49,368 Newton per meter or 49.368 kilonewton per meter. Okay, thank you.